Hey everybody, I'm Corey with Lytepost, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble one of our Generation 3 stanchions from start to finish. Now, this one today is our retractable belt version, and this is for PBR Rock Bar here in Las Vegas. So we're going to start with the steel plate, which has a counter bore on the bottom side that your large screw is going to go into. I'm going to take our rubber ring, kind of just drop this in, and you just want to work the rubber around until the ring snaps in completely. Roll it in place. And again, you can see the flat side of the rubber is face down with the counter bore. Once that's in, just want to work around and make sure the rubber snaps all the way on top of the steel plate. This will give you a better fit with the cover. Okay. Once that's done, now it's time to put the tube on. Now, Loctite is not required, but I recommend it to keep the tube from spinning around. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is 242 Loctite that's removable. It's not permanent. Just put a little bit on your screw. Lid back on. Now you're going to turn your plate sideways, and again the screw goes into the counter bore side, right back here. Going to take our handy Phillips screwdriver, which is the only tool needed. Push it back, kind of want to just clamp it in your body, or if you have a vise you can use that. And we're going to start threading the screw into the tube. Now, right before you get to the bottom, you'll see there's a little notch in this stem drum here for the USB cables so they don't get crushed. So all you want to do is grab the cables with your finger, push them into that slot, and just finish screwing on the tube. Okay. Almost there. Okay, our tube is secure. Now we're going to mount the battery. So what you want to do this way, keep your cables pointing out like this. You're going to take your battery, keep it on either side of the tube, and you want the USB cables here facing the same direction as the USB cables coming from the tube. We've included either Velcro or 3M adhesive. You can put it together like this first. This particular one snaps into place. Peel off your adhesive. Put this dead center in the middle of the battery pack. Take off the other side and put it down like so. At this point, all you have to do, plug in your USB cable and power it on. Now this particular battery does have a shut-off circuit, so if the stanchion is inactive for 5-10 minutes, it probably won't shut on. It doesn't mean your stanchion's broken, it just means you need to either reconnect the power cable, or there's a little button on the side of this. You give it a push, it'll refresh right up. Okay. So now we're going to do the insert. So I'm going to put the stanchion on the floor for this. So this is our insert. It's cut 7.75 inches by 32 inches, which is the standard size for the Generation 3 unit. Turn it upside down. We're going to roll it up. Put it in the tube, like so. And right before you get to the bottom, you want to make sure these two edges are lined up with each other. So make sure they're touching, and then just both sides at the same time, push down. This will make sure you don't get a lopsided logo. Push that down all the way, and your insert is installed. So it looks like lit up. So this is a wraparound format, so the two halves meet in the middle. Okay, so at this point, now we're going to put on our base cover. We'll take this, slide it over the tube, and it should fit right over the rubber ring. We've also included a rubber sealing grommet. You take this guy, put it on top. You want the flat side facing up. You can kind of just roll it down. Right when you get to the bottom, just make sure you wrap it around the stovepipe of the cover. And now you're waterproofed. Next, I'm going to show you how to install the cover. It's a little tricky the first time for the retractable belt. You can see we've got a slot in the side of the tube. That's where the belt's going to feed from. So the best way to do this is put it over, pull out the belt a little bit. You kind of just need to play with it till it goes down. Give it a little tug back and forth just to make sure it's in place. And you know what? So this doesn't work that way. That's why we've actually included a center grommet that'll also help keep the tube centered so you can put the cap on easier. So you take this little guy, just put it right over the LED tube, and you want to push this down just below these screw holes, and that's going to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the cover once you put it on. Okay, so now that's centered, we're going to try our cap again. Pull our belt out a little bit. Line this guy up in the slot, like so. There we go. Now once that snaps into place, you should get your play back. At this point, all you need to do is put in the side screws. I recommend using an electric screwdriver if it's the very first time, just to tap the thread a little bit more. After that, Phillips screwdriver will be good for taking off the cap and removing it every time. So, hope this helps you guys get your stanchions together, and please email us if you have any questions.